Let's discuss on noise pollution. What is sound? Sound is acoustical energy released into the atmosphere by vibrating or moving bodies. In physiology, sound is produced when an object's vibration moves through a medium until they enter the human eardrum. Whereas in physics, sound is produced in the form of a pressure wave. When an object vibrates, it causes the surrounding air molecules to vibrate, initiating a chain reaction of sound wave vibrations throughout the medium. Now, our matter of concern is noise pollution. So the question is, when does a sound becomes noise? So when does a sound becomes noise? So what is the definition of noise pollution? When does a sound becomes noise? The definition of noise is defined as any undesirable human or machine created noise which disturbs the activity or balance of human or animal life. According to the United States Environment Protection Agency (EPA), sound becomes unwanted when it either interferes with normal activities such as sleeping, conversation, or when it disrupts or diminishes one's quality of life. So, what is noise pollution? Noise pollution is when the sound becomes unwanted. So, sound that is unwanted or which disrupts one's quality of life is called as noise. And when there is a lot of noise in the environment, it is termed as noise pollution. This sound becomes undesirable when it disturbs the normal activities such as working, sleeping, and conversation. It is usually underrated environmental problem because of the fact that we cannot see it or we cannot smell it or we cannot taste it. Because of which it is one of the underrated environmental problems. World Health Organization stated that noise must be recognized as a major threat to human well-being. The level of sound, it can be measured using the unit decibel, which is written as dB. So the higher the decibel, the louder is the sound. So it can be measured with a decibel meter. The following photos show two different kinds of decibel meters. Humans can hear sound waves with frequencies between the range of about 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Intensity of sound is measured in decibels, Decibel Scale, and the short form of that is dB. Decibels are measured logarithmically. This is a way of counting or measuring something that increases rapidly or exponentially. Say for example, every increase of 10 decibel on the decibel scale is equal to a 10-fold increase in the sound pressure level SPL. The near silence is expressed as 0 decibel, but a sound measured at 10 decibel is actually 10 times louder. And if a sound is 20 decibel, that means it's 100 times louder than near silence. And the sound 1000 times more powerful than near total silence is 30 decibel. So here are some typical sounds and their decibel ratings. Now let's consider the sound level and the human perception. So the sound level is given in the decibel scale and the perception by a human being, and the various examples of that is given here. So 0 decibel, it is the lowest sound level that can be heard, and 10 decibel is considered to be very quiet sound. So the breathing sound is 10 decibels usually, and if it is in the range of 10 to 30 decibels, it is considered to be quiet. So usually the soft whispers made in the class when a teacher is teaching is 25 decibels, and the soft conversation in library is also 30 decibels. And when it is in the range of 30 to 60, it is considered to be acceptable. Say for example, soft raining, and the normal conversations between two persons, it is in the range of 30 to 60 decibels, mostly 60 decibels. And if it is in the range of 60 to 80, it is considered to be noisy. Example is busy traffic. And once it is in the range of 80 to 100, it is considered to be annoying. And the examples are, yeah. So next, it's passing train whose noise level is 90 decibels or sound level is 90 decibels. And once it exceeds 100 decibel, it's considered to be very noisy and it can cause damage to the ears. Examples: crying baby 100 decibel, and the other examples are the terminology used to define the sound or to measure the sound. One is the frequency and another one is the intensity. So frequency is a number of cycles repeated in unit time duration. Its unit is cycle per second or hertz, and 1 hertz is equal to 1 cycle per second. Another one is by the intensity of sound. So intensity, it is the amount of sound energy received in a given time period. So it's the amount of sound energy received in a given second. It's known as the intensity of sound and its unit is decibel. Now let's see what is a decibel. The decibel is a logarithmic unit used to measure sound level. Decibel, it is a relative unit of measurement equal to 1/10 of a bell and is widely being used in electronic signals and communication. The decibel is a logarithmic way of describing a ratio. The ratio of measured intensity to the reference intensity. So decibel, it is defined as the logarithm to the base of 10 to the ratio of measured intensity and reference intensity, or using the decibel, the difference in sound level between the measured intensity and reference intensity can be found. So the question is, what is measured intensity and what is reference intensity? So measured intensity, it is the intensity of the sound that we are measuring, or it is the intensity corresponding to L bells, and reference intensity I naught, which is usually taken as the threshold of human hearing. Now let's see how can we measure the noise measurement. So the quantity of energy or the intensity of a single sound is usually measured on a relative logarithmic scale that employs a unit which is known as bell P, or in terms of its subdivision, that is a decibel or dB. A bell, it represents a tenfold increase in energy and is measured in relation to the reference intensity I naught, which is usually taken at the threshold of human hearing. The intensity I of a sound corresponding to L bell is given by this expression. Then, solving for L, it yields to the expression like this, where L is the logarithmic of the ratio of I to I naught, where I naught is the reference intensity, which is usually taken at the threshold of human hearing, and I, it is the intensity of sound corresponding to L bells. So L, it is log times I, the ratio of I to I naught. So that is L, which is represented in the unit bell. So at the threshold of hearing, I is equal to I naught and the noise level L is equal to 0. When L is about 14, the sound becomes very painful to the human ear. So for finer scaling, the bell is divided into 10 decibel and the above equation becomes L is equal to 10 times log of the ratio of I to I naught decibel. The decibel, the symbol which is given by dB, is a relative unit of measurement of sound which is equal to 1/10 of a bell.